Hi guys. As I said, I'd have Anna joining me with wine. We once did wine reviews on this channel. We did wine reviews and no one watched. These are really good wines. Oh, these pretentious assholes and their wine drinking. This is pretty good though. What was this one called, Anna?
I can't remember.
It's so memorable, she's forgotten the name.
But it's a dark red.
Yeah, it goes really well.
With cherry and plum notes.
Goes well with the chili that I made. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's quite good.
Cool.
I like it. Also, my new wine, toasting glasses.
Yes, yes. So, what we did last year, we did a top 15 movies that we saw and liked. Now, we want to make it clear, like we did last year, if it's something that's getting a bunch of nominations, and there might be a few on here that have gotten some Golden Globe or possible Oscar things, but most of the movies we see, it's usually horror, comic book movie, science fiction, whatever, So we're not like, it's not going to be like a typical list of people like, it was the most amazing acting thing of the year, Yeah. There's movies I do want to see, like The Whale and stuff like that, but and there are movies we didn't get. There are movies we didn't get a chance to see, like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We haven't got a chance to see that, and a couple other movies that I'd like to see, like Pearl and Terrifier 2, which I'll watch by myself because I know Honest I'm into that one. But like things like you didn't get to see, but so yeah, our list will be a little bit. We're gonna stick to a top 10. We'll have a couple honorable mentions, and then we'll have a couple movies that we saw that were just terrible.
Yeah.
So we're not going for a full list of terrible things because if we did that, we would have had to watch a lot more horrible movies.
Yeah.
And
who wants to do that?
Yeah, and sometimes it's fun too, but like sometimes it's like a lot of times, and somebody else was the review of this mentioned this of just like. Sometimes I see a trailer for something and it looks horrible, and I'm just like, I'm just not going to watch that movie. Why am I going to waste? Like, I'm not a paid reviewer, so it's not like I'm making any money watching this bullshit. So I thought we would start our list then. And,
do you want to start it with the movies that suck?
Absolutely. Right. I'm cursing on here.
Okay.
Ringing this almost
movies
new year.
That suck. I think we almost agreed.
Yeah.
The obvious one. I can't see your face.
Hide my face in shame.
The obvious one, one that we've already reviewed here. Morbius. That movie sucked.
Oh my god.
It sucked ass.
Yeah, we did a review for it. We won't go into too big of details,
been hashed to death.
It's a really badly made movie. It's like, how is it that it took this many years? Never touch the computer.
Yeah,
it's my mighty computer. But that many years in the can, and even through a pandemic, and you still, this is the best shit you can give us. Yeah. It's just like, there's moments between Jared Leto and Matt Smith that are decent, but like there's potential for a decent movie there, but overall,
it's like trying to find like spots of gold in
the most ridiculous after credit scene ever.
Intriguing.
Yeah,
it sucks. It's
terrible and it's boring.
And it's boring.
The worst thing you can do with a superhero movie is be boring.
Yes.
All right, so that's definitely on the list.
Morbius.
You had some others on your list.
I did.
Yes, I also have some.
VHS 9. All right, so heads up, we have a Shudder subscription. A lot of our movies are.
There will be some Shudder movies out here. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Movies that sucked, in my opinion. VHS 99 fucking sucked.
I thought that it was. I did not put it on my worst list. I've done a review of it on here after I watched it. I think that there's one really good one in there, and one that's okay but kind of goes off the rails, and everything else kind of sucks.
For those who don't know, VHS is like the franchise of
found footage.
They're found footage anthology films.
Yep.
And this one had one story that was good, that was entertaining. One that had an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And that was executed
poorly.
Strangely.
Okay.
And everything else sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else sucked. Bad.
Yep.
Like bad. So yeah, sucked.
Fair.
For me.
I thought it was okay. The VHS 94 was better.
Yes.
There's a lot better stories in that one.
That was from last year.
Yeah. I liked that one better, and I think that it was... the original VHS is really good. There's a lot of good stories. The second one has one or two, and then the third one was viral. It was terrible. So if viral had come out this year, that would have definitely been on my list. But that was many years ago. So did you have any other worst ones on your list, honey?
No, those are the two big ones that sucked for me.
I will add... Hold on, I'm just looking at what I was looking at.
I know, just so we can see your face.
Nobody wants to see this face.
Yes, we do.
Oh. So the other two I would say would be Mr. Harrigan's Phone, which is on Netflix. Now, the acting wasn't bad. Donald Sutherland was in it. And,
what is that movie about? I don't know.
It's a Stephen King movie.
Oh, okay.
But it has Donald Sutherland as this guy, Mr. Harrigan, who's like this lonely guy. He hires this teenage boy to read stories to him because he's going blind or something like that, I think. So the premise is interesting, but like, and it had the kid who played Bill and It.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
he's been working a lot lately.
Yeah, which is good. And like I said, they were fine together, but it was just after like Donald Sutherland's character dies, then like it's sort of this thing where he's still calling him on the phone even though he's dead. Which it seemed like an interesting premise, but it just felt like it was kind of just dragged on and kind of boring. Yeah. So I wouldn't say worst movie of the year, but it was just kind of like, I'm falling asleep during this. This isn't
not a good sign.
Yeah. And the other one I would say would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. Now, don't get me wrong. I had some humor and laughter watching this, which probably is not what you should be getting from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Also, you shouldn't be rooting for Leatherface to kill all these motherfuckers, which is pretty much what I was at. Like the main girl, I was like, why is this bitch not dying? She was so annoying. I'm just like, just kill this bitch. There's one funny line in there where the guy is on the bus and he's like, better back up, man. You're going to be canceled. And it's just like, okay, that's kind of funny. But the movie, overall, it's just like, just stop with if you're not going to like do something fun or something to add to the Texas Chainsaw, just stop. We've done so many goddamn reboots and sequels or requels as they're called. It's like we had the 3D one, which was fucking terrible, and we had the Leatherface prequel one where which one of these four is Leatherface? Oh, guess what? It's the little skinny guy that looks nice, not the guy who looks anything like Leatherface. Just like just stop. You're not this. Leatherface was never supposed to be a generic slasher film. Like I would say this way: the original is good, the second one is fun because you got Dennis Hopper, and then the remake with Jessica Biel isn't bad. You have R. Lee Ermey in there. Why are you messing with my hat?
I'm not messing with it. It's falling off your head.
No, the new hat that your mom got me.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
Cute. There we go.
But it's it's not bad. I'm sorry to go off on other little things, but I just wanted to tie up just how bad this movie is. Sure. So it was worth a watch on Netflix, but I would definitely have not paid to see it in the theater. And if you guys are, especially if you're bringing some franchise back, whether it be one of the big ones like that, you probably want to actually have people interested in it. And I was just more like, well, it's late at night. Anna's already gone to bed. I guess I'll watch this shit. There wasn't anything else on, so I watched it. But it was horrible. So, all right, so we've gotten through all the horrible movies. Now we get to actually go to the movies we like. So this year we're only doing top 10 lists. Yes. I don't think we saw quite as many movies in the theater.
Or period.
Yeah. And honestly, to be honest with you, there are definitely some good movies, but compared to last year where we had to do 15 because there were so many movies that we liked, this year it was kind of like...
Yeah.
All right, so...
Oh, we do. How do you want to do the honorable mentions? Do you want to save them before the number one, or?
I'll just do them now. I think that's usually honorable mentions come before you even.
Okay.
Do you have honorable mentions, huh?
I do.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I'll be quick with them too.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions, Black Adam.
Fair.
It was fine. It was decent. It does feel dated.
I had that on mine as well, so yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked elements of it.
It was okay. Yeah. And
we never did our official review of it, so I guess we could just quick little thing. I think it was okay, a bit dated. It had sort of not the same problems overall as Morbius, but
No,
for how
no,
long
no.
for how long they've been working on it,
Yeah.
and this is all they could do with it.
Yeah.
I liked Aldous Hodge playing Hawkman. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I liked him as Hawkman. I liked
good. Yeah.
I liked Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan was great.
As Doctor. Like we were afterwards. We were like, we would watch a whole Doctor Fate movie.
Yeah,
that was great.
absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, decent.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Not horrible. It's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I also have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Fair.
A decent film.
Yeah.
I very controversially liked it better than Thor Ragnarok, but
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people complained more about the humor in this one than they did in Ragnarok, and I thought Ragnarok was much worse at it.
Yeah,
I think they just didn't notice it as much because it was so different and such an upgrade from the Dark World.
yeah,
That I think watching the Taika Waititi's humor in this
yeah.
one. I will say though, I wish they'd done more with Bale. What he did was
Yeah.
good, but I would have liked seeing him killing these other gods. I think that would have
Yeah.
been much more. They should have stuck with some more darkness to it. Too much humor. Marvel's really got to humor's fine.
Find the
but you got to
balance.
pull it back. You
Yeah.
don't want to just laugh every 5 minutes.
Right.
Especially during serious moments.
Yeah. And then I have a little movie called Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Fair.
It's
I had that on
it's
here
one of
too.
our Shudder movies. It's basically Transformer. Transformer.
Terminator.
Oh God, I've been drinking.
It's Transformers. She was drinking.
No, it's basically Terminator meets Chopping Mall. If the AI was a Santa Claus.
Robo Santa Claus.
And it's a fun, very fun, low budget slasher flick. The characters are, I mean, especially considering the short runtime. I think it's only 90 minutes.
Yeah.
The characters are surprisingly really likable and engaging, and you actually want to see them make it to the end.
Right.
The kills are brutal. It does a lot on a very small budget, and yeah, it's fun. It's a fun, decent little flick. It kind of just ends randomly.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah. Do you have any more on your honorable mention?
That's it.
Oh, okay, interesting. I will add a few more that I had on my because I saw a lot of movies.
Was there any crossover with your honorable mentions? Your Black Adam.
Black Adam and your Christmas Bloody Christmas there.
Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also Thor: Love and Thunder and Black Adam too. Yeah.
As part of your honorable mentions.
Yes.
Okay, so all of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Were your honorable mentions? Cool.
Yeah,
And
I had a few others that were
Cool.
on here.
Go for it.
I had Christmas Story. Christmas was pretty good. It's not as good as the original, obviously, but the movie's
The original Christmas Story.
yeah. But Peter Billingsley carries the movie because he's still Ralphie. He's not an adult. He's still got it. So he's the best for the press submission. Everybody else is fine. But it's a decent movie. Good Christmas movie, puts you in a good Christmas mood and stuff. So that's a solid one. And then what else do you have here? As I can read my handwriting sometimes. Yeah. What else? Oh, Scream, the newer Scream. I did like it. I had some issues with it though, so I couldn't put it in my top 10. But it was interesting to bring it back after so many years of being gone. And it was cool to see those characters come back again with Neve Campbell and stuff like that, and David Arquette and Courtney Cox, and introducing these new characters and this connection to Billy Loomis and all this stuff. But the killers, at least, I mean, with Scream, you always have to have some sense of
Disbelief.
great disbelief, grain of salt, whatever. But I literally guessed one of the killers 5 minutes in, because this girl was so unlikable. And I'm like, okay, either she's going to be one of these characters that we're going to be really glad when she dies, or she's one of the killers. And she was one of the killers. And then, it was just one... there's a scene where, spoiler, Dewey gets killed. And, the person in the thing is very fucking tall. But then, they try to act oh no, the little girl that's, 5 foot somehow towered over. Was she wearing stilts? you know,
Which
and
would
killed,
be awesome.
yeah, and killed fucking Dewey like that. I'm like, no, that's where. That's the thing with Scream movies too. Like even when I watched Scream 4 again the other night, which I actually will say after watching it a few times is a better movie than I thought it was the first time I watched it. But sometimes you're always like kind of figuring out who was there when that was killing, like who's in the mask at that point, but then you're also like, how could they have been there at that time? Well, also it's right. That's the thing with Scream movies. You just have to kind of suspend disbelief. Yeah. But it was still cool to bring it back, and I do look forward to what they do with them in New York. It looks intriguing. Intriguing. Okay, so and I did have you might include this in your top 10. I just ran out of space on my top 10, so there's a movie called Deadstream. Yeah, do you have it in your top 10?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I think
I think
I ranked it way higher than you did, actually.
Well, my plan was to put it in there, and then I was like, oh, I've already got 10 here. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I do. Okay. But no, it's really good. Anna will give you more thoughts on it, but if you liked Evil Dead. I woke up very early today. I just kind of didn't sleep very well. I had a car appointment and all that. So, so I'm like, I also had a little wine. No, it's really good. If you like Evil Dead, it's a nice kind of update of it. Anna can give you some more thoughts. And one girl that really stood out from the VHS 99 story is also in this. Fun, yes. And she's really good. So that would be my honorable mentions. So cool. Since I just babbled on for about 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at that.
I'll let you start with your number 10.
All right, here we go. Number 10. My number 10 is Halloween Ends. Very controversial because people who hated this movie fucking hated it. Yeah.
And since we never actually got to upload
I was about to say, we have a lost review.
Yeah.
I won't say too much. I think everyone said what's going to be said about this film. And if I ever do figure out how to upload the review, it'll get uploaded. Mm-hmm. But I didn't mind it. I did not mind the whole Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
I didn't mind the acknowledgement that Michael Myers is aging.
Yeah, right.
I didn't
and the fact that he took a beating
yeah. There were a lot of aspects that like just sent people around the bend that I did not mind. Mm-hmm. It did not ruin my enjoyment of the film. Yeah. What got me was the whole I guess the third act before things kicked into high gear, where Laurie and her granddaughter kind of took turns holding the idiot bowl.
Yeah.
And it was very out of character for both of them, especially Laurie. And it's like, guys.
Yeah.
But the ending, I appreciated, just because it felt like a real ending. Yeah. Like, this is the end. Mm-hmm. And I've mentioned it before. I'll say it again here. I love the way it mirrored the original Halloween ending, where it's like it's doing all the shots in the original Halloween. It does all the shots of everywhere Michael has been as it's playing the Halloween theme song. Mm-hmm. And this time it's all these shots where Michael has been, except this time it's in broad daylight. And it's just the theme is not playing. It's just ambient noise.
Yeah.
The end, it's very clear, and I really like the way that was shot. So that's my number 10.
Funnily, that was my number 10.
Oh, hey, two brains, one thought.
No, I would definitely concur with your thoughts, because I had heard a lot of things going into it. I remember we were going to the theater. And I was just one of those things where I'm just like,
Happy New Year,
fireworks, yeah. 2 more hours on our time. Before it's the new year, but yeah, I remember we went to the theater, and we were I think it was only 4 of us in the theater, because it also released on Peacock, so I think some people stayed home and watched it, but I went into it I had heard a lot of reviews, a lot of people oh god, this is divisive, everyone's getting it, and so we both went into well, let's just get it over with so we can see if we're gonna hate it and all that, and I ended up not hating it at all. I can understand.
I really didn't hate this movie.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you watch, another reviewer pointed this out, if you actually watch all 3 movies back to back, the movie's really about the city of Haddonfield.
Yeah. And the trauma.
Yeah, the first movie's very much
and the trauma
Laurie
that
and
Michael Myers has.
and then the second movie's very much
caused.
how vicious of killer Michael is, and how the town is getting, pulled into this stuff. And the third one's very much about we have to have an evil. If Michael's not here, we have to create another evil, which is what happens with Corey. And at the same time, yeah, he's that old fucking man, guys. Remember this. He's supposed to be elderly. It's like, it's like he's not just going to regain his power instantly. I always take it as sort of like
he's not Freddy Krueger.
No, he's not. But it's very reminiscent of how in Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy couldn't quite kill yet, so he used Jason to get his power back.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a little bit what Michael was doing with Corey.
Or Nightmare on Elm Street too.
Yeah, using Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to possess Jesse.
Jesse.
All right, yeah. So yes, number 10 for both of us is Halloween Ends.
Cool.
All right.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Oh, I forgot I put that in Werewolf at Night as honorable mentions. That's what I couldn't read.
Oh.
Only because I feel like they were specials.
Because they're short?
They're short, yeah. I did like them. They were both great.
Okay, I included them.
That's fair.
I've
also had movies on here that you didn't see.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is a very fun little trifle. Mm-hmm. Kevin Bacon is a lot of fun in it. Mm-hmm. It's just a fun little... It's fun. It's
good
fun.
use of Mantis, too.
Yes, very good use of Mantis. She really shined in this one. Also, Dave Bautista as Drax. But yeah, like, I feel like the fun... Like, everyone was in character, and it was just a fun little thing. It felt like reading, like, one of those little, like, side comics, like, like when you would buy a comic book, and then there was a main story, and then there was, like, a little side story that came after that was just kind of like a fun little thing.
Yeah.
This felt like that, and I appreciated it.
Fair.
There we go. My number 9. Your number 9.
My number 9 would be a movie we just saw today.
Oh!
Violent Night.
Gotcha.
So, for those of you who don't know what it is, basically it's David Harbour as Santa Claus kicking some ass. It's just a fun, die-hard-like movie with Santa Claus. And, you have John Leguizamo and a bunch of other, and his gang, basically, I guess, that are just coming to rob this rich woman played by Beverly D'Angelo from vacation films and other things, and just like most of the family is just really kind of rich, horrible people. Well, gradually they kind of come together as a family and stuff.
Yeah,
but I
there's
think
a Christmas message.
Yeah,
in there.
There's still a Christmas message in there, and David Harbour's fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fun, cheesy action lines and action scenes, and some good violent stuff too. There's one scene in there that's just like, oh god, with the ladder and stuff. And the kid was good too. Like I appreciate it when like a kid actor acts like a kid, but also can act still, and like gives the emotions and things like that. Because sometimes you get in there, you're just like, oh god, this kid is wooden as hell, or this is but no, she was really good. I thought she had good chemistry, and the parents were fine, so I thought it was a fun Christmas action film. And that's all I could ask for. And that's all I expected it to be, and but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I saw it.
Good.
Number 8.
Number 8 for me. Number 8 was Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. Yes, that was my number 8.
That's all you got.
No,
yeah, it was my number 8.
No, I
we watched that last.
Yes, we will. Yeah. It's I really enjoyed it. I liked the mystery. I liked that they kind of went in a different direction than the first one, which was all about like layers and complexity. And for this one, it's like you think it's layers and complexity, but it's actually very simple. I appreciated that. Most of the execution of it was well done. Of course, the cast is great.
Yeah.
The ending is a little weird.
Yeah. I'll talk about
just kind of bit it. But that's overall I enjoy. Not as good as the first one, but overall still an enjoyable film. I look forward to the next Knives Out installment.
Definitely. It's funny because Rian Johnson didn't want it to be called a Knives Out sequel. He just wanted it to be called Glass Onion. So he was actually very upset that they called it a Knives Out. It's like, well, your first movie was called Knives Out, dude. So whatevs, you know. That was actually my number 8 too.
Ah!
How about that? Sometimes
Cool.
minds think alike. So yeah, I would concur with those thoughts. Like I said, the cast is fun. Dave Bautista is funny, and it's a great scene with him. He lives with his mom and stuff. It's pretty funny.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, overall the cast is fun. They all have very interesting characters and stuff. And Edward Norton plays this very Elon Musk
Oh my
type of
gosh, that's
billionaire,
great.
but he's pretty much a moron. It's pretty much for the yeah. But
like the rest of the world, I assumed Miles Braun was a complicated genius.
yeah,
But he is in fact an idiot.
yeah.
So, Daniel Craig was clearly having a ball.
Oh yeah, Daniel Craig is great now. He's obviously having a lot more fun than he did being James Bond. Well, it's true. I mean, by the end, he's just like, "Can we just be done with this already?" But hey, I mean, it gave him his break and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've actually always enjoyed him in like comedy roles. He was good. There was Logan Lucky. He was in that movie. That was really good. But yeah, he was really good in the role. I liked the way they handled him having a relationship with Hugh Grant and stuff, but it wasn't like over the top with it and stuff like that. It was just like, yep, they're a couple. Yep. Okay, that's all we need to say about it. Cool. You know, it's not like we had to beat over the head. Yeah, like let's focus on the movie still. You know, and Janelle Monáe. Yeah, is very good in the movie. Mm-hmm. And Edward Norton's fun. You know, so yeah, I would say the issues with the ending, and I'll just full spoilers here just to give heads up because I have to discuss my problems with the ending. Is that like basically she reveals that she has this original idea that her sister, because she's posing as her dead sister, to try to get to the bottom of it, catch the murderer, and I won't spoil who the murderer is, but basically like the person that's the murderer like basically makes the piece of paper like flame up, and then rather than these other people like now being like, oh, I saw it. I saw evidence, so we're going to turn this guy in, or turn this person in. They're all like, oh, well, I really didn't see it. And just like, but then they start destroying things, and then the other people join in and start destroying things, and then it goes to this big, like, finale thing with this piece. Then all of a sudden they're like, yeah.
It's a very, like, once you get to, like, where they're going with all this buildup, it's like, oh, okay. But, like, it's a very long build-up. Yeah. That did not need to be that long.
Yeah, that's my only issue with it.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, get to the point, guys.
Yeah, I look forward to the next ensemble cast for the next one. Yeah.
Right, but yeah, me as well. Cool. So, that was our number 8.
That was number 8. So, we're on to number 7.
My number 7 is Violent Night, cool. That we just saw today. Cool. Yeah, fun film.
Very nice.
A little more dramatic in places than I expected it to be. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, lots of fun. Gory as hell. Yep. You kind of mentioned the thing with the ladder. Yeah. It's just like parts of people's scalps getting ripped off. But yeah, of course, like it's Santa Claus kicking ass. Right. Like it's gonna be a fun, campy, good time. Yeah. And John Leguizamo's having fun with it. David Harbour's like, invested, which is great. Yeah. And the supporting cast, I want to give a shout out to as well, because like everyone is fully committed. Mm-hmm. Like the guy who played like one of the like all the
henchmen.
That's what I'm looking for. They all have code names relating to Christmas. Yeah. Like there's one called Krampus.
He's freaking it.
He's so funny. It's all like, I'll crush his nuts. Like, it's like, okay, sociopath. Yeah. And then I also found out that the guy who played Gingerbread, Bjorn. Yeah. I gave you a bicycle in '82. Why are you doing this? Apparently, he is a Norwegian rapper who is considered the pioneer of Scandinavian hip hop.
All right then.
I know. It's like, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a really fun. It's a fun movie. Like if you want to like deviate, like if you're in the holiday spirit but want to deviate a little bit from the norm. Yeah. Violent Night. It's definitely it lives up to the name. It is violent, but also lives up to the Christmas spirit. Yeah. You're number 7.
My number 7 is the movie X.
Ah.
So this movie is it's actually part of a trilogy that they haven't released the third movie yet. Yes. Yeah. So this is the first movie, and then they released Pearl, which is a prequel to this movie. I've not gotten a chance to see that one. I really want to. I'm probably renting from Redbox. But I unfortunately get to see it before the year ended, so I couldn't put it on the list. Yeah. But this movie's really good. It's very, it has that kind of 70s exploitation-y type of, but like sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, grindhousey feel to it. The lead, Mia Goth, is really good. She's also the lead in Pearl. But she actually plays dual roles. She plays this younger, kind of trying to be a big porn star. And then this old lady and this old man live at this farm that they're filming at. And she also plays the old lady in old lady makeup. Who's just super fucking creepy and stuff. Like kind of that old person creepy feeling you got from The Visit and stuff. Yeah. But like, yeah, she does a great dual performance. There's also a good supporting cast. You have Jenna Ortega, who's, just wrapping up those horror films.
She is. Good for her.
And she's good in it. And then Brittany Snow's in it too. If you've seen Brittany Snow and things, she's pretty good. And I forget the black guy in there. I think he's a rapper, but he's pretty good in this. Like his acting is pretty. Like Scorsese gave him credit, for his performance and stuff like that. So it's like he does a really. I forget what his name is. I have a chance to look it up beforehand, but it's a really good slow burn because it just starts off kind of like your exploitation. They're doing filming porn scenes basically, so there's some nudity for those people who aren't, can't handle that stuff. But it definitely deviates into kind of this dark, twisted, thing with these old people just being fucking crazy. So yeah, I definitely have you check that out, and then obviously check out Pearl, and I think they're gonna focus on her character from this and the third movie. Yeah. Kind of what happens after. Yeah. But it's funny, there's a scene throughout that you see these like very like televangelist-y type of things on the TV throughout, and you find out at the end that the head televangelist is the main character's father. So she's a porn star, and he's but he reminded me of this guy, this what is it, S. Perkle or something like that. Oh, yeah. That like Cinema Snob has reviewed these. Won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come? Yeah, and just like that's exactly what straight up reminded me of. So it's very dark. I saw it on Amazon, and it was yeah. So that would be my number 7. Check that one out. Yes. Definitely.
Number 6.
Yep.
Number 6 for me. Gosh, this movie feels like it came out so long ago. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Gotcha.
That was my number 6.
Very nice.
Again, I feel like everyone said what needs to be said about it, but I felt like it was.
I haven't yet.
I felt like it was a fun return to form. Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen was awesome as the Scarlet Witch. It was great to see her just unleash and destroy everything. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's going to be back. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I'm not too concerned about that. I appreciated sort of the Sam Raimi touches, like her like crawling zombie like through the air and everything.
Evil Daddy.
And yeah, it was just fun.
That's all you got. That's all you got to say.
Also, like the trips into like seeing Benedict Cumberbatch play basically 4 different versions of Doctor Strange. That was pretty fun. Yeah. He did a good hamming it the frack up for evil Doctor Strange and his third eye.
Or Strange Supreme, I guess is what he's called.
Yeah, and the scene with the music notes where they bring the music notes to life and use them to like as weapons against each other. Yeah. That looked really cool. That was really cool, and a really cool sound design.
Cool.
What's your number 6?
I'll talk about that in a little bit. My number 6 is the movie Barbarian, which I saw on my birthday by myself. You were working, I think, so it's all good. So this movie was actually directed by a member of the sketch group Whitest Kids You Know. You can see their stuff on YouTube and stuff. I know they had a member that passed away, a car accident.
Trevor Moore.
Yeah. But this was Zach Krager, I think is his name. He said he actually talked to Jordan Peele before making the film and gave him a lot of like notes and stuff like that. And you can definitely tell. It starts off kind of like it's set in Detroit, and which has been a popular place for horror movies lately. They did that for Don't Breathe too. But like
and It Follows.
Yeah, that's right. But like this girl goes to this kind of like Airbnb. But it's really set in this like really rundown neighborhood. Like all the other houses are like boarded up and stuff. Yeah, you yawn out of camera. Are all boarded up and stuff like that. And she arrives to this house, and then the guy who played Pennywise in the recent It movies, Bill Skarsgård, is there too. So there's been like this kind of like mix up with the booking and all that, and they're deciding whether to like, well, should I stay? Because they're like, I don't really know this guy, and like, but he's like really going out of his way to show like, I'm not a creep. I'll sleep out here on the couch. It's like, you know, but you're just kind of like you keep waiting for something like dark to happen. Like there's sort of this subtle kind of dark moment going on. You're like, all right, and then they go down in the basement and find like this other little like cubby hole, and then there's this like other hole where there's this bed and there's like cuffs or something like that. Like it's like, oh, something's creepy going on here,
right?
And then like Bill Skarsgård gets dragged away into the dark, and then you just see this creature or something like that, like almost looks like a cave person or something like that. And then it kind of like it cuts away from them, and we go to like Justin Long driving in his car or whatever, and then he's finding out that he's being canceled from this show because his co-star has accused him of basically rape or sexual assault or rape or whatever. And so he's like he apparently owns this Airbnb, so he ends up going back. And then he gets tied up into this whole monster thing, and eventually, you know, kind of gets his comeuppance a bit, you know, for his awfulness. And he has this really awkward scene on the phone where like all his agents and all they're saying, do not try to contact this girl. She does not want to talk to you. And he gets really drunk and makes this very awkward phone call. I wish we could just talk about this. And it was like, if you ever seen the movie, the movie with Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau where they're all friends, Swingers. There's a scene towards the end where he just keeps leaving this long fucking voicemail, and you're just like, fucking hang up, dude, fucking hang up. And that's very much like that. But you kind of, the monster, as it sort of uncovers kind of what's going on here. I won't give away the twist because it is a really dark twist thing. I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it. But it's a really good, like I said, a lot of stuff on my list is horror stuff. It's been a really good year for horror, I feel. There are a few here and there that were bad, but so that was really a really fun movie. I enjoyed it on my birthday, and there was a lot of nice twists and stuff. So definitely check that one out. All right.
Cool. Awesome.
We're up to number 5. The top 5!
Yeah, you got me wanting to see Barbarian now.
Yeah, you should rent it sometime.
Cool.
Good.
Number 5, for me, that is Deadstream.
Very nice.
So Deadstream, it's a very low-budget film on Shudder. A found footage film about this sort of like influencer, internet influencer on Twitch and YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty much Twitch and YouTube, but for some reason they couldn't get the rights for Twitch. Which is kind of funny. But like he's been canceled. Because like he does like he got famous doing jackass stunts on the internet. Yeah,
things he's scared of doing.
Facing his fears and all that stuff. And one of his pranks went too far. And so he's been canceled. So now he's getting his sponsorships back by confronting his fear of spending the night in a haunted house.
Yep.
And so it's him in the house and the things that he encounters, and it's made by the same filmmakers who did the only good short in VHS 99. And the thing that I really liked about it is found footage is a genre that is really deceptively hard to do. And this one does it really well.
Agreed.
Like that's pretty much its hook, is that it handles the found footage aspect really well, really creatively.
Yeah.
Using it as a means to help perpetuate the horror and perpetuate the storytelling. Like the fact that he is, he sets up multiple cameras and, is like controlling them through his iPad. So like that gives you like multiple camera angles, like explained in universe. He has his viewers, who are like streaming with him and commenting with him. So like there's other things for him to interact with. It's a really well done film that could have gone easily awry based on its setup and its
Yes.
yeah. And so the fact that they do it so well is really, really cool. Also, as you mentioned, it's also clearly heavily inspired by Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So it's really gross, but it's also really funny.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool. It's just really cool. It's fun to watch. And I hope to see more from these filmmakers. So
Yeah, and that Melanie Stone is the actress's name
Yes.
that was in the VHS one and this.
And this, yeah.
She's really good. So check her out. All right, so my number 5 is going to be The Batman.
Oh.
Yes. This is a good movie. I would say I had a few issues with it, not major issues. But number 1, the length. It's
3 hours.
3 hours.
Right.
It's the 3-hour movie thing is one of those things that like,
Yeah.
it can work if you have a really fast moving story. But if you have kind of a slow build of things, it can kind of be like, okay, we're going to wrap this up soon. So it was never like a boring situation where I was like, oh God, it's so boring. Like I liked a lot of aspects of it. I think Robert Pattinson was fine.
Yeah.
And I liked Paul Dano's Riddler. It was a nice, creepier version and stuff like that. And the little bit we got with Alfred was fine too. I enjoyed Colin Farrell as the Penguin being completely unrecognizable.
Right.
I really enjoyed Zoe.
Oh!
Yeah. I really enjoyed Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I thought she did a great job. And they had good chemistry with her and Robert Pattinson, I thought. And even though he didn't do a lot either, I think that Lieutenant Gordon was well cast as well, with Jeffrey Wright. So, so the cast is overall pretty good. Like I said, it's mainly just the runtime and then like the endings, like the way they wrapped it up and all that. It wasn't badly done, but there's like a scene where like him and Catwoman are like they say goodbye to each other, like she's leaving.
And they do that awkward
but
thing.
then they have this awkward kind of thing where they're just driving on motorcycles.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like one of those things where it's like you say bye, okay, bye, see you later.
Yeah.
Oh, we're walking in
still,
the same direction, but
well,
no, we already said bye.
Yeah. This is awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and yeah, the fight scenes are really good. I like that when he comes out of the darkness and stuff, and the music's playing and all that. That's really there's some really good stuff in there. Some good action. There's some good suspense and stuff like that.
Cool.
And the cast is solid. My other problem with it, and some people have said this too, give the fucking Joker a rest. I just like even if he's not going to be the main villain of the next one, I just like give the Joker a fucking rest. Like we have so many other Batman villains you could do,
right?
And it's just like, and I'm sorry, nothing against the actor playing him, but he looks like an uglier version of Ezra Miller. You can't help how you look. Like I'm not the most attractive man either. I understand that. But I don't know. There's just something about him. He was in the Eternals as well, and I don't know. There's just something. And it wasn't that he was doing bad, but it just felt it wasn't like anything too. Even the little bit that I saw of him, it wasn't that different than anything I'm already seeing of the Joker.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with the Joker is that it's been done a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have already done a lot with it, and it's not that someone can't do something fresh with it eventually, but you already got the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Exactly.
He's gonna have a sequel. Let him just
he
be the
won
only
an
Joker
Oscar
right
for
now.
it.
Yeah. Let him be the only Joker for now. Yeah. Take some time with it. Get some other villains in there. So that I think that was the one thing. It was just like when they had that little scene with him and Riddler.
Yeah, that was
for God's
unnecessary.
sake. Yeah, but overall, a solid film.
Cool.
Probably better to watch at home if you don't want to do a 3-hour thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Number 4.
All right. For me, that was Werewolf by Night.
Oh, nice.
A Disney Plus special about a very underappreciated Marvel hero. Very
Man thing.
yeah, Marvel Comics has a very weird side to it, involving horror and psychedelics. And it's not something that's been tapped, at least until very recently. It's not an aspect of Marvel Comics that's been tapped into much in other forms of media, particularly film. So I really appreciate that they're doing that.
Yeah.
Also, the way that they set it up, I am a big sucker for the Universal horror films. So the way that they set this up as basically a really bloody version of a Universal horror films, complete with like the camera angles and the use of shadow and the way that it's shot in black and white.
Yeah.
That was a really cool artistic choice. The acting's good. I really like Gail Garcia Bernal as the lead.
Yeah.
And I hope to see more from this.
Yes, absolutely.
I think, let me double check. Yeah, it is my highest rated Marvel offering of the year.
Fair. In terms of streaming as well, it was probably one of the best things they did.
Werewolf.
Moon Knight was good.
Yeah, especially, I would say, especially if you're not like wholly invested in Marvel or the Marvel Plus or Disney Plus Marvel shows or anything. If you're gonna watch Werewolf by Night. It's short, it's effective, it's I mean, I feel like they got away with a lot because most of it's shot in black and white. It's surprisingly bloody, given that it's a Disney Plus. It's just really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun Halloween thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I said I had it as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Just because it was short, but like I agree, it was really good.
Nothing.
So my number 4 is Doctor Strange 2.
Ah.
So see, I did have it higher ranked than
you did.
Because a lot of what Anna already said, but like I fucking love this movie. I thought it was great. There's so many people who are like, ooh, just get all boo boo face about everything, but like, and then there's all the people who complain that it ruined her WandaVision arc. I'm like, you guys do remember in WandaVision how she trapped an entire town into her fantasy? And then just
Wanda
walked away.
She's always had a dark side.
And at the same time, it's like, so it's not like, no, she was just totally fine and forgiven, and everybody was like, yeah, that's cool. It's like, no, she literally kidnapped a whole town. So it isn't like she was like doing all this good stuff in WandaVision and just completely heroic, that then suddenly now it's just like, breaks out. So it's like these, I saw something about tropes and how, there are always women breaking bad. It's like, or maybe it's that someone has flaws.
Yeah, I read, granted, part of it is because those things were shot so closely back to back.
Yeah.
The filmmakers of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness did not get a chance to actually see WandaVision.
Yeah.
So they couldn't incorporate that into the thing. But I feel like her journey in WandaVision is more about her confronting her grief
about Vision,
rather than actually dealing with it.
Yeah.
And in fact, WandaVision ends with her dealing with it in a very
dark way.
She's literally reading a book that makes you evil by the end of the series. Like, I don't think it's a huge surprise that her character arc goes where it goes in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Exactly. But no, I
still want to see more of her. Still want to see her get redeemed. But I don't think this was weird.
Because we have Agatha coming to Chaos.
Yes.
Show up in that, and we have X-Men coming eventually.
Yes.
Or mutants.
So
we can't call
it so more. So I have faith that we're going to get more Wanda.
Anyway, can I have my more thoughts now?
Sorry.
Took over.
Go for it.
But no, I liked seeing her break bad, so to speak. I thought it was awesome just hearing her tear things up and just like all the creepy things they did with her. And, even the scene that a lot of people complained about with the other multiverse characters, because Because like I said, it was cool seeing John Krasinski as Reed Richards. Even if it was just a little short thing. And it was a little fan servicey thing. And it won't be the overall. That was cool that he did it and that he was able to be in there. It was cool they got Patrick Stewart as Professor X. That was
so cool.
That was neat. You know. And then even getting the guy who played Black Bolt to be in his actual...
Right.
After that horrible series that he was
Yes.
in. Yeah, they did get taken out pretty quickly. And kind of in a dumb way. I'll admit that like that. Reed Richards, one of the most brilliant men, does the stupidest thing he possibly
says the dumbest thing to her.
Yeah.
That he could have said. Like.
Yeah, and yeah, I was fine with Captain Carter. That's fine. I like the actress. She's fine. Captain Marvel. But I just nothing against the actress, but every time I see her eyebrows stand out so much. It just bugs me. It's nothing against her personally. She's fine. It's just like, but when her hair's shorter, like her hair was a little longer in Captain Marvel, so it wasn't as noticeable. But everything else I see her, it's like, I feel like I'm looking at Eugene Levy sometimes, just because of the very distinctive eyebrows. I'm just like, ah! And they also made her like one of the last ones to go down. I'm like, no, she should have gone down first. But because no one cares about Captain Marvel. Anyway, anyway, what is getting to that? Yeah. Me and my woman hating while praising Scarlet Witch, by the way, a well done female character. But no, I liked a lot of the scenes. I liked the showdowns. I liked the Doctor Strange stuff himself, and it was cool seeing Charlize Theron show up as what's her name? Clea. Yeah, Clea. So we'll get Clea in there, which is freaking awesome. So that's one of it was definitely favorite Marvel.
Cool. We're in the top 3 now.
Top 3.
Oh gosh.
What's your number 3?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Nope. This is my birthday movie.
It was your birthday movie.
It was my birthday movie. And it's really, really good.
My birthday movie. You funny lady.
It was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely can recommend.
Be talking about it too.
Yes.
Myself,
it's just the use of sound and just the visceral idea of you human, you as prey, and the fact that the creature they're just eating. It's a very pragmatic thing that it's doing. There's no emotional connection.
Yep.
It's just doing what it does, and that is terrifying. Especially since our human characters do have emotional connections and feelings and backstories that are all tying into everything. You will never look at a cloud the same way again.
Right.
You will never look at a cloud the same way again. It's I can definitely recommend. I love the way that the stories all kind of tie together, and it's a really good film.
Right on. Yeah. All right. My number 3 is Prey.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know what Prey is, it is a Hulu exclusive Predator movie set in Native American times. Comanche, I believe, is what the tribe was. Yeah.
17th century.
Yes.
I think is about where it's...
I've actually heard they're working on one that they're going to put in I forget what century, but something in China or something like that. I think is going to be the next one.
Cool.
So, I love this idea of putting the Predator in different times.
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome idea. I think the lead actress does a great job.
Yes.
I liked the guy playing her brother as well. I thought they were definitely the 2 best actors in the film.
Yeah.
And the Predator, I personally, let's say this much. I know the Predator kind of sort of became more of the good guy when the Alien versus Predator stuff was coming on. But I always felt like, especially watching the first movie, it's like, look at the Predator's a bad guy, or a bad person, or bad whatever.
Firmly in the antagonist.
Yeah, but so I like that it was an antagonist again. It's like that's what Predator was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I think it was the best Predator film since the original. I really do. Predator 2 is not bad for being in the city and all that, Danny Glover and stuff.
Oh yeah, in the L.A.
Yeah, that's decent. It's a decent one. But everything since then has just been not very good. That previous one was just awful, and had way too much comedy in it. And the one before that, what Rodriguez did, wasn't bad. There were some good ideas, but then you had Adrian Brody saying Schwarzenegger lines that just did not sound right coming from Adrian Brody. But like, yeah, this was, I thought it was a very fresh take, and it was, especially for watching on Hulu, I thought the budget was really good. I thought they did the Predator well, and the look of the Predator was very like it fit the times. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's less of like the futuristic like space agey stuff, and like bones protracting to like stab people with, like. So you get a sense that, like, yes, humans have evolved since this time period, but so has the Predator. Like, so, yeah, I really liked that.
Yeah.
Also, just the fact that any time that, like, it kills a...
Yeah, right? Takes his bear out, yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, the fight with the bear.
Yeah. At least it wasn't a cocaine bear. That trailer was wild.
What in the world? Okay.
Cool. So that would be my number 3.
Number 3, okay.
Top 2.
Top 2. My number 2 is Prey.
Oh, well, there you go. Since you're number 1.
I feel like we said pretty much everything that needs to be said. Yeah, it's really great. It's a great return to form for the franchise. Mm-hmm. I really loved the lead. I really loved the way that she uses her her biggest strengths are her sense of strategy. She's got a great tactical mind, and like it plays into that really well. And
excellent use of the hero's journey too, because there's very many times where she misses with the weapons, and
she has to learn.
Knocked down, and she learns from it. And nothing wrong with that in the story, guys.
Yeah, and and the actress herself is really, really good. Apparently, she used to be she didn't go very far with it, but she was an MMA fighter for a little bit. Oh, cool. So like she's really athletic, and
she's on that Reservation Dogs show. I think Taika Waititi's involved in.
And she's a really rootable character. And like you're like, even taking the Predator out of the equation, you just really want to root for her to gain the respect of her tribe as a hunter and as a warrior. And then the Predator gets introduced, and suddenly everything, like, it's just really cool. It's a very fresh take on a very familiar character, and that was much needed. And I hope they continue, like you said, I hope they continue with it.
Absolutely.
I think it's really cool just plopping him down in different, in different areas of the world. So cool. That's my number 2.
Cool. I'm interested to see your number 1 ends up in. So my number 2 is a movie I saw without Anna. It's Top Gun Maverick. So I was going in, I had heard a lot of the hype about it and stuff like that, and I liked the original Top Gun just fine. But I was kind of like, I don't know, a sequel to Top Gun,
Yeah, was this needed?
Yeah, it wasn't here. But I have to say, guys, I was thoroughly impressed, like a lot of other people were. It's a really good movie, guys. It is a really good follow-up to Top Gun. There's connections to the original, obviously. Val Kilmer does have a part in there, reprising his role as Iceman. Poor Val. And they have Miles Teller playing the son of Goose. So he's got this tension with Maverick, because Maverick's been kind of, holding him back because he doesn't want him to end up like his dad did, and so there's kind of this adversarial thing with them throughout the film that grows. John Hamm is also in it as well. He plays one of the instructors at the Top Gun thing, and Maverick's his usual character. He's older, but he still has that same kind of Maverick attitude. And he has a decent relationship with what's her name? She was in Labyrinth.
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly. They obviously, their characters have a history. Kelly McGillis is not back. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, why isn't she back?" And I'm like, well, thinking of his character though, did you really expect that relationship to last? I mean, if you watch that first movie,
Take my breath away.
It was obviously, it was not one that I felt like, oh no, this relationship's gonna last, But I think they did a nice job of tying that well together. And like I said, it's the flight stuff is really good. Like I said, they used actual Navy stuff. They have an
Cool.
intro about it and stuff like that. And like Top Gun, I remember it was funny because at the intro of the movie, Tom Cruise and the director have been like honorary members of this Navy thing and all that. So it's like, so yeah, you say what you want to do as Tom Cruise as a person. He may be a little nutty and crazy with the stunt stuff, but he definitely put his all into this movie. Considering that his initial meeting is like, I don't want to do that, you know, but yeah, it really does deserve a lot of the praise it got. Like I was thinking at first, I'm like, I probably won't do it, but I really enjoyed myself. It's not overly reliant on nostalgia where it's like quoting lines left and right, which is always refreshing when you have a good sequel like that. And like I said, everybody's really good. The supporting cast is really good. The younger pilots and stuff. So definitely check that movie out.
Cool.
All right, what's your number one,
Number
honey?
ones are different this year.
They are, yes.
Yes, my number one this year is the Batman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, yes, it's 3 hours long. I don't care.
That's fair.
Because I feel like you don't really feel like the movie doesn't start to feel that until like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So the fact that it keeps its pace going for 2 hours and 40 minutes
It
is
does
really
pace quite
impressive.
It does.
Yeah, it could have been shorter. I agree. It's not a perfect film.
Yeah.
But it's still my number one because something I really appreciated about it is that it took Batman back to his detective roots.
That is fair.
This is
That's a
a
good point.
smart Batman.
Definitely.
And it's the reason I love Batman. Is that he is not just like rock'em sock'em.
Yes.
He is intelligent. He is Sherlock Holmes in a cape. That's what he was originally designed to be.
Yep.
And like this is the movie that really encapsulates that aspect of his character. And for me, that's awesome. I thought Robert Pattinson did a really good job. I want to see more of his Batman. I'm a hell of a lot more interested in his Batman than I ever was in the Batfleck.
They didn't give him a lot to work with.
They did not. That's true.
He never got a solo movie.
In fairness, that's true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot more invested. I also really appreciated the way, and I cannot remember another Batman film doing this to this extent, but it really kind of highlights the difference in the way people interact with him as Batman versus the way people interact with him as Bruce Wayne.
True.
And the fact, at least at this stage, because he's a young Batman at this point, that at this stage he's more comfortable being Batman than he is being Bruce Wayne. Which starts to change towards the end of the film. But, I really like seeing that aspect of the character. It kind of gives him a vulnerability that I feel has been lost in a lot of modern iterations.
Totally.
And I thought that was really... the mystery part of it was just really well done. Again, did not need to be 3 hours. But it's a film noir. It's taking that aspect of a superhero movie and finding the little subgenres in them, and developing those subgenres, and that's always something that I'm going to appreciate, and so that is why the Batman is my number one.
That's cool. I've seen actually a lot of our lists that had that on there as their number one too. So, or their number one comic book movie of the year. Yeah. Which I can agree with that. I may have picked Doctor Strange over it, but I like them both.
Yeah,
equally, really. So
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
cool. So yeah, that's it. That's my list.
All right, cool.
And your number one?
My number one, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Oh, sorry, no, that was last year. No, my number one is Nope.
Cool.
And when we saw that film, I even said this is the best film I've seen this year. No, I liked Get Out. I enjoyed Us. A lot of people didn't like Us, but I thought it was fine. But I will even argue that I think I like this better than Get Out. Get Out was very much about how society and people of different races treat each other. And I liked it for that aspect in terms of like those people who are trying way too hard to be like, I voted for Obama, I would have voted for him for a third time. You know, that line alone, I'm just like, yeah, I know people like that, you know, that are trying way too hard to be like, no, I totally understand, you know.
I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah, you know. So the sinister plots in that were great, and the acting and the scene with him and the Catherine Keener.
Yeah,
that's a really creepy scene. But I don't know. There's something about this thing. I will just say that, and you didn't mention it when you were talking about it.
Sure, yeah. I figured it was your number one.
Yeah, well, not that, but the one scene that really, really stuck with me was the scene with the kids show and the chimpanzee.
Right. That
was one of the most chilling scenes. Just seeing this chimpanzee lose it on these people and just smashing the fuck out of these kids, and just like seeing them like, and yeah, when they actually had the up close, there was a little bit of CGI-ness to it, but
yeah, it was a little weird.
But just like, because I've always felt that too with like working with live animals like that. People, and my dad has always mentioned it too, with chimpanzees. He says chimpanzees can rip your freaking arm off if they want to. I mean, it's great that people can work with them and communicate with them. They're smart, intelligent creatures, but they are very dangerous too. And I liked that because it was a fresh kind of like, yeah, motherfuckers, don't fucking. And I said it was all about, like you said, it was about bad miracles. Is kind of the message there. Yeah. It was like people staring at things they shouldn't, you know, like Michael Wincot's character having to get in there and look up at the thing, you know. Yeah,
but he wanted to.
He wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah. And like I said, the cast is great. Diana Kaluuya is great, and Keke Palmer. I like the balance of their personality. She's much more, you know, energetic and like, and he's just kind of like,
he's very introverted.
I just want to kind of sit here and chill, you know, and the guy that played like the video Best Buy type of guy, he was fun.
He was,
And even Keith David in a small role, which kind of starts the plot of the thing.
Right,
But yeah, like you said about the clouds, the inflatable tube men.
Oh gosh.
I can never listen to Sunglasses at Night the same way again. Anytime I hear it, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, the use of sound in that film is amazing. The sound is
right, and it's funny because I've been watching a lot of Key and Peele clips on YouTube. And there's a lot of them that have the horror element to it. And you can kind of see kind of these elements of things that he was working with. I'm like, I see where he kind of started with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, it was definitely, I had wondered as I watched movies the rest of the year if it would be beaten. But as much as I enjoyed everything else on this list, I still think it was my favorite film of the year. So props to you, Jordan Peele.
Yes. Indeed.
Yes. I would also like to mention one honorable mention for a movie that came out in 2020. I don't know if we ever talked about it, but it was called Psycho Goreman.
We did.
We did talk. Okay,
yes, in our rundown of Shudder films that we watched. Yes.
I would just say that if we had a 2020 list, it would definitely been way towards the top.
Psycho Goreman. So yeah, check out it's somewhere on here. Like check out our reviews of Shudder films because. Oh yeah, did we talk about Psycho Goreman?
So good.
Also, a subscription to Shudder is worth it.
Absolutely.
Just to watch Psycho Goreman.
Yes. It's great.
All right, we have clocked in at over an hour, my dear.
Well, we kind of figured we would.
Did we?
So is there... Well, we get to talking, we get to talking.
Yeah.
This is actually the longest video I've done in a while on here. Most of my pitches have been, under 30 minutes. So, is there anything that that's coming out next year that you are super looking forward to?
Nope.
Not a goddamn thing,
huh? Not really. Not at the moment.
I look forward to the Ant-Man movie and Guardians 3, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It'll be solid.
Yeah.
Obviously there's movies like The Whale that we still want to see. Brendan Fraser and stuff. And some of the other Oscar type movies that I might be interested in seeing. But yeah, obviously, you can sometimes you have a busy schedule and you're trying to find the time to go see a film or you're like, I could probably wait on that, and that's the thing, it gets expensive going to the theater too. It's a nice experience when you get to, but so anyway guys, this has been our top 10 and honorable mentions and a few worst movies of the year. So and like I said before, it's like if we see something that just looks horrible, we just don't watch it. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. have a happy new year, and we will see you guys in the new year.
Yes.
And like and subscribe, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.